Hello, everyone. Scooty Double 7 here, bringing you another exciting game in the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. In today's game, we have the 0-1 Chicago White Sox taking on the 1-0 Cleveland Indians. And here is the starting lineup for the Chicago White Sox. Leading off, the left fielder, Nick Swisher. Batting second, the shortstop, Orlando Cabrera. Batting third, the designated hitter, Jim Thome. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Paul Coneco. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Jermaine Dye. Batting sixth, the catcher, A.J. Pazinski. Batting seventh, the center fielder, Alexi Ramirez. Batting eighth, the third baseman, Joe Creed. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Juan Ube. On the mound for the Cleveland Indians, it is Falsetto Cremona. 8 wins, 7 losses, 5.44 ERA, 120.2 innings pitched, 126 hits, 58 strikeouts, and 70 walks. We are here at Progressive Field, +1 to strikeouts. And Falsto is ready with his done warming up, and we are underway. 1-4. We start off with her at the ballpark, so we're going to go right to Progressive Field. 2-5, and that is a ground ball to the shortstop for out number 1. That's going to bring up Orlando Cabrera, batting a .250 average. Here's the pitch. 4-1, range play. That's going to be a 5-5. Ground ball to Blake. Blake's range is on a 1-3. That's a 6, and he gets first. All right, and the White Sox come out with a hit. Infield going to double play depth. Strategy roll is a 5. Jim Thome now up. Here's the pitch. The 1-3 blank. And that's going to be a 5-6. That's a double past Sizemore. All right, let's see if Cabrera gets home. If roll is less than or equal to the adjusted ABR, he advances. No, 5 is higher than 3, so he is going to hold. And that is going to bring up Paul. Paul batting a .667. That's going to be a 2-4. That's a strikeout. That's an 11. That's a 2. He struck him out. All right, infield at normal depth. That's going to bring up Jermaine Dye, batting a .250 average. Strategy roll is a 4. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 1-2, and that's going to be a strikeout. That's an 11. That's a 3. They struck him out. So at the end of the top half of the inning, no runs, 2 hits, no errors for the White Sox. We go to the bottom of the first. It is Grady, Cabrera, and Johnny due up for the Cleveland Indians. And here is the starting lineup for the Cleveland Indians. Leading off, the center fielder, Grady Sizemore. Batting second, the second baseman, Abdur Cabrera. Batting third, the shortstop, Johnny Patella. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Travis Hefner. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Ryan Garacco. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Franklin Gutierrez. Batting seventh, the left fielder, David DeLucci. Batting eighth, the third baseman, Casey Blake. And batting ninth, the catcher, Kelly Shopetch. And on the mound for the Chicago White Sox, it is Xavier Valquez. 12 wins, 16 losses, 4.67 ERA, 208.13 innings pitched, allowed 214 hits, 200 strikeouts, and 59 walks. And Xavier is done with his opening tosses. Here's the first pitch. 1-2, that's a walk. That's a 12. That's an 18. The 18 is too high. 4-1, that's a line drive back to the pitcher. Takes it, tosses it over to the first baseman for out number one. Cabrera now up, batting a .750 average. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 3-4. And that's a strikeout result. That's a 13. And that's a 5. He struck him out. 1, 2, 3. Have a seat on that one. Johnny now up, batting a .500 average. Pitch. It's going to be a 1-1. That's a strikeout. That's a 12. That's a 9. He struck him out. And the Red Sox retire the Indians in order. 3 up, 3 down. Nothing across the board. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 1, the score is tied at 0. We go to the top of the second. It is AJ, Alexi, and Joe due up for the White Sox. AJ batting a .250 average. That's going to be a 6-5. That's a blank. 2-5, ground ball to the shortstop for out number 1. Next up, Alexi Ramirez batting a .250 average. 4-1 range play. And that's going to be a 6-4 to the third baseman. Ground ball to Blake. Blake's range is on a 1-3. That's a 5. That failed. And he does get an extra base. That is a double. So he stretched that into a double there. So the White Sox have a runner in scoring position. Infield going to double play depth. Strategy roll is a 4, and that's going to bring up Joe Creed. Batting a .250 average. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 6-3. That is a strikeout. That's an 8. The 11 is too high. 2-4 line drive to the first baseman. And that is a no double up there. And that is going to bring up Juan Ubri. 14 on the strategy die, infield at normal depth. It's going to be a 4-3 range play at Progressive Field. And that's going to be a 3-4. That is a home run past Sizemore. That's a 2. And Juan hits a 2-run home run here in the second inning here at Progressive Field. And That is a 2-run home run for Juan Ubre, putting the White Sox on the board, 2-0. We go to the top of the order. We go back up to Nick Swisher. Swisher 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 1-3. That is a blank. And it's going to be a 2-3. And that's a double star 3. That is a ground ball to the second baseman for out number 3. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the second. It is Travis, Ryan, and Franklin due up for Cleveland. Here's the pitch. Travis Hefner batting a 200 average. Here's the pitch. 4-5. That is a strikeout plus. We add 11. That's a 25. That's a 16. He struck him out. Ryan Greco now up. Has a perfect average, 100. Here's the pitch. 6-2. Strikeout. So that's an 11. That's a 17. Too high. 1-2. And that is a single past the right fielder dry. And Cleveland gets a runner on. Infield going to double play depth. Strategy rolls a 2. Frank Gutierrez up. That'll be 3-2. That's a strikeout. That's a 12. That's in range. He struck him out. David DeLucy now up. 14 on the strategy die. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 2-5. That's going to be a walk plus. We add 10. That's a 17. That's a 19. The 19 is too high. 2-6 ground ball to first base to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We go after 2. It's Cleveland. It is Chicago 2. Cleveland not yet to get on the board. And due up for Chicago, it's going to be Orlando, Jim, and Paul. All right, here's the pitch for Orlando. He's 1 for 1. And it's going to be a 5-1. That's going to be a range play. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 6-3. And that is going to be out there to DeLucy. Ranges on a 1-3. That's a 1. He got it. Took the hit away from that one. Jim Thome, 1 for 1. Doubled his last time up. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 6-6. That's going to be a wild pitch, so we're just going to re-roll that. 2-2. Walk plus a 26. That's a 14, and we walk them. So that is going to bring up Paul. We have a hit and run. And with Jim having an H, he can only do a hit and run. So we'll see. 1 out, infield at normal depth. 1-4 at the ballpark. So we go to Progressive Field. 6-3. That's a fly ball out there to right field for out number 2. So Jim stays at first. Gutierrez taking that out there, and that's going to bring up Jermaine Dye, 0 for 1. Struck out his last time up. Here's the pitch. Strategy rolls a 15. 2-5. Strikeout. That's an 11. That's a 4. Struck him out. And the White Sox leave one stranded. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the third. It is Casey, Kelly, and Grady due up for Cleveland. Casey, here's the pitch. 2-1. Possible error on a throw. And that's going to be a 4-3. Ground ball to third base. Error rating is on a 13. That's a 15. No error. Out number 1. Kelly now up. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 3-3. That's going to be a range play. And that's going to be a 3-4. That's a double to Dry. Dry's range is in a 1-2. That's a 2. He got him. And Dye having to hustle to get that play there. We go to the top. We go to the top of the order. Grady Sizemore, 0 for 1. The pitch, 3-4. Strikeout, that's an 11. That's a 7. He struck him out. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 3, Chicago 2, Cleveland nothing. AJ, Alexei, and Joe due up for the White Sox. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be 6-2. Possible error. 3-2. And that's going to be a fly ball out there to Gutierrez, whose error is on a 1-2. That's a 15. No error. 1 out. Alexei now up. 1 for 1. Doubled and a run scored. Here's the pitch. 3-1. That's going to be a walk. That's a 4. The 7 is too high. They don't walk him. And that's going to be a 4-1. That's going to be a single past second. And Alexei gets on. That's going to bring up Joe Creed. Infield going to double play depth. That's going to be a hit and a run on Alexei. All right, here we go. The pitch to Joe Creed, 0 for 1. That's going to be a 5-4. That's going to be a walk result. That's a 9. The 14 is too high. 2-5. Double star. Ground ball to third base. And that is going to be a double play. That's a 2. That's a 1. And that is a double play. And they retired the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It is Cabrera, Johnny, and Travis due up for Chicago. I mean, not for Chicago, for Cleveland. For Cleveland, here we go. Cabrera, 0 for 1. And that's going to be a 6-4 strikeout. That's a 13. That's a 6. He struck him out. All right, Johnny up. He's 0 for 1. And that's going to be a 3-3. That's going to be a range play. And that is going to be a 6-5 ground ball to shortstop. Cabrera's range is a 1-4. That's a 6. He got past it. And Johnny gets on first. All right, we have a pickoff attempt here in a 1-2. That's a 3. 3 is outside of the range for a pickoff. And infield going double play depth. Travis Hefner, 0 for 1. 6-5, blank. 5-1. And that is a fly out to center field. Ramirez getting that one. We have a steal attempt. Nothing here for a stolen base. So we're going to add +2. That's going to be a 17. And that is a 17. And Johnny steals second. With that, Ryan's still up. He's 1 for 1. Here's the pitch. Infield going to infield at normal depth. 1-1. Strikeout. An 11. 17. Too high. It's going to be a 6-1. And that's going to be a double star 3. That's a fly ball out there to right field. No runs. 1 hit. No error for Cleveland. After 4. Chicago 2. Cleveland nothing. It is Juan, Nick, and Orlando due up for the White Sox. Juan Ubre 1 for 1. Home run. Run and an RBI. 4-3 range play. And that's going to be a 5-2. That is a double out there to DeLucci. That's a 6. His ranges in a 1-3. That's a 6. He got the double. And that got past him and off the wall. Now, got back to the little wall, put his hands up, and that is a ground rule double on that one. That is a double. Nick Swisher, 0 for 2. Strategy rolls a 3. Infield going to double play depth. The pitch. 4-2. Strikeout. That's a 16. That's a 14. He struck him out. Infield going still at double play depth. Orlando Cabrera, 1 for 2. Strategy rolls a 3. White Sox holding off on Strat. That's going to be a 5-2. Possible error on a throw. 6-4. Ground ball to the first baseman. Error is 1-3. That's an 11. No, the out is going to happen at first. So Juan's going to go to third. And the White Sox now have a runner in scoring position. Strategy rolls a 5 as Jim Thome comes up. He's 1 for 1, doubled and a walk. Strategy rolls a 5. 2-1, walk. That's a 16. That's a 4. They walked home. And that's going to bring up Paul. Strategy rolls a 9. Corners are going to be brought in. They're going to bring the corners in. 0 for 2. 1 struck out his last time up. 19 on the strategy die. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a 3-6. That's going to be a walk plus. That's a 28, and they walk him. And now they load. And Falsto loads the bases. 14 on the strategy die. They're going to go out there to the mound and talk to him. Loads the bases up. Right? I'm going to shake it out. Shake it off. Jermaine Dye up. He's 0 for 2. The pitch. 5-3. Walk plus, and that's going to send a runner. They're going to walk Ubre home. One home. And the crowd here at Cleveland boos on that one. Stadium boos. That's going to bring up AJ. Strategy rolls a 14. Here's the pitch. 4-1. Range play. 4-6. That's going to be a ground ball to Cabrera. Ground ball is on a 1-3. Range is on a 1-3. That's a 4. That's a single. And let's see, Paul came from second, so we may have some extra runs here. Paul came from second. He advances home on a 2-6. So Paul's going to go home. Jermaine was on first, and he goes from first to third on a 3-6, and he will advance to third. And just like that, the White Sox take a 3-run lead. And that, they look at this and they say, nope, they are done with the pitcher. The skipper's going to go out to the mound early to make that play, to make that call. So we have a right coming up for Cleveland. And I am going, we want someone with a little bit of length here. I am thinking, yeah, they're going to bring in Scott Lawton. One loss, 3.52 ERA, 15.13 innings pitched, allowed 16 hits, 15 strikeouts, and 7 walks. Comes in to finish up the inning. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 1-1 range at the ballpark. So we go to Progressive Field, 1-3, and that is a double star 4. Ground ball to first base to retire the side. 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It is Franklin, David, and Cassie due up for the Tribe. Franklin is up. He's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. 2-1. Possible error on a throw. And that's going to be a 3-3 fly ball out there to Swisher, who makes the catch there. 1 away. David DeLucci, 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 4-2. That is a walk. That's a 7. That's a 4. They walk them. All right, we have a pickoff attempt here. 20 is always a pickoff. On a 1-2, that's a 3 again. Does not get him. He gets back to the base in time. Casey Blake 0 for 1. That's going to be a 4-1. That's going to be a wild pitch. That's a 9. Nothing happens. And that's going to be a 2-6. And that's going to be a double. All right, let's see. We have a 1, so we're going to check here. Lead run, let's see. It is equal to a less than. That is, lead runner advances. So the Indians finally get a run on the board. And Blake will advance. Charging runner advances. So Cleveland finally scores a run, knocks the lead down to 4. Kelly is up. That is an 8. Infield going to double play death. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 5-4. Home run chance on a 1-8. The 15 is just too high. 3-2. And that is a fly ball out there to die. It's a sacrifice fly. And that is a failed SF roll. Let's see. The 5, nope. Blake is going to hold. It had to beat a 1-3, and that was a 5. All right, we go to the top of the order. Grady Sizemore, 13 on the strategy die. Infield at normal depth. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 3-4. Possible strikeout. That's an 11. That's an 11. That's a 6. He struck him out. So Cleveland ending that drought, scores a run, 1 hit, no errors. After 5, it is Chicago 5, Cleveland 1, and that is Joe 1 and Nick due up for the White Sox. Scott's still on the mound for the Indians. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 2-4. That's going to be a strikeout. That's an 8. That's a 10. Too high. 6-2. And that's a single past Gutierrez. And Joe Creed smacks one to get on base. One Oubre up. He's 2 for 2. Strategy roll is an 8. Infield going to double play depth. Here's the pitch. 6-6. Question mark. Single on a 1. That's a 5. No. And that is going to be a 1-6. That is going to be a double. And Joe Creed gets the whole sign at third to stay. That is a 2. That's a -1 from 1 to home. Does not get it. Holds because that is a 0. Does not advance home. Runners on second and third. We go to the top of the order. Nick Swisher. Strategy roll is a 15. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 2-1. That's going to be a strikeout. That's a 16. That's an 8. He struck him out. 1 out. Infield at normal depth. Strategy roll is a 9. Orlando Cabrera up. He's 1 for 3. All right, here's the pitch. 1 out. 5-1. Possible error on a throw. That's going to be a 4-1. That's going to be a double to Sizemore. On a 1, Sizemore errors on a 1. That's a 14. And that's going to score 2 runs there. 7-1 Chicago here in the 6th inning. So that is going to bring up Jim Thome. Jim Thome. He's 1 for 1. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 3-4. That's a blank. He's not tired just yet. And that's going to be a 5-1. And that's going to be a double star 3. That's a fly ball out there to DeLucci. Cabrera's going to hold. And that's going to bring up Paul. Paul 0 for 2. Walk, struck out, and a run scored. 2 outs, top of the 6th. Here's the pitch. 1-6. Possible error on a ground ball. And that's going to be 3-6. Ground ball to the first baseman. Error rating is on a 1 to 3. That's a 16. No error committed there. And that's going to end the inning. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is Cabrera, Johnny, and Travis due up for Cleveland. Here's the pitch to Cabrera. He's 0 for 2. And that's going to be 3-4. That's going to be a strikeout. That's a 13. 13 is in range. He struck him out. Now Xavier can face 7 more batters before he's tired. Johnny now up. He's 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. Struck out with a strikeout. 4-6. That's going to be a range play. 2-1. Ground ball to second base. Range is on a 1 to 4. That's a 6. That's a single. And Johnny gets on. Gets a single that got past the second baseman. And that's going to bring up Travis Hefner. Travis is 0 for 2. Struck out his last time up at bat. Here's the pitch. With a strikeout in the game so far. 6-6. That's a strikeout. That's a 15. That's a 3. Struck him out. All right. Infield still at normal depth. Ryan Garco up. He's 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 3-3 range play. And that's going to be a 1-4. Line drive back to the pitcher. And Valcrez's range is on a 1 to 5. That's a 3. He got it to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no error. After 6, Chicago 7, Cleveland 1. Scott can face 2 more batters before he's tired. They are going to leave him in for this inning, and it's going to bring up Jermaine, AJ, and Alexi due up for the White Sox. Jermaine 0 for 2. That's going to be a 6-3. That's going to be a walk plus. That adds 10. That's a 19. And they walk him. All right, AJ up. 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 6-1. That's going to be a possible error. And it's going to be a 6. That's going to be a 4-5. And that is going to be a double star to Blake. Ground ball to the third baseman. Blake's rating, error range is on a 1 to 8. That's a 19. And that's going to be a fielder's choice here. So Jermaine's going to go to second. The out is going to happen at first. So 1 away. Jermaine takes first on a sacrifice from AJ. And that's going to bring up Alexi. Infield going to double play depth. Scott is now tired. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 4-5. That's going to be a walk plus. That's going to be a 14. That's a 4. And they walk him. And with that walk, they're going to go back out there to the mound and talk to Scott. And out comes the skipper. Oh, yeah, not letting him pitch. We have a right switch coming up for that, and they are going to go with Edward. Edward. So they're going to bring in Edward Muccia. 3 wins, 2 losses, 6.75 ERA, 38.2 thirds of an inning pitched, allowed 46 hits, 27 strikeouts, and 7 walks. And before we go on, let's take a look here at Fausto's stats. 4.2 thirds of an inning pitched, allowed 7 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, 1 home run. Scott pitched 1 2/3 innings, allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. ERA 10.58. Foster's ERA is 9.58 on that. Joe Creed steps up. Here's the pitch. 1-1. Strikeout plus. That's an 18. That's an 11. They struck him out. And that's going to bring up Juan. Juan 3 for 3. Here's the pitch. 6-5. Home run. 18. That's a 4. That's an 18. It's too high. That's going to be a 2-1. That's going to be a double star. Fly ball out there to Sizemore to center field. Sing, take me out to the ball game. No, so that retires the side. Nothing across the board for the White Sox as they leave 2 stranded. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 7th. That's going to be Franklin, David, and Cassie due up. And let's take a look here at the box score of the game so far. Cleveland scored in the 2nd, the 5th, the 6th. And in the 6th inning, Cleveland only scored the 1 run so far in the 5th inning. They're down by 6. And that's going to bring up Franklin Gutierrez. He's 0 for 2. And Xavier can pitch to 4 more batters before he's tired. So they are going to leave him in for this inning. See what he can do. 1-2. That's a walk. That's a 9. The 10 is too high. It doesn't walk him. 4-1. That's going to be a fly ball out there to dry for out number 1. That's going to bring up David DeLucci. He's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 1-4. Possible error on a ground ball. We'll see. 3-4. Ground ball to the first baseman. To Paul. Paul's error range is on a 1 to 5. That's a 13. No error. Out number 2. Casey Blake. 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 2-5. That's going to be a blank. And that's going to be a 4-6. That's going to be a fly ball out there to Jai. And that retires the side in order. No runs, no hits, no errors for Cleveland. After 7, it is Chicago 7, Cleveland 1. But remember, no lead is safe. Here an inside pitch. We go to the top of the eighth. It is Nick, Orlando, and Jim due up for the White Sox. Nick Swisher, here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 1-3. That's going to be a blank. They are going to leave Edwin in. He can face 3 more batters before he's tired. And that's going to be a 4-2. That's going to be a ground ball back to the pitcher for out number 1. Orlando Cabrera is 2 for 4. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 6-3. And that's going to be a single for Orlando. All right. Jim Thome, 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. 6-6. Hit by pitch. That's going to be a -4. That makes it a 1. No. That's going to be a 3-1. And the runner is doubled up. That's going to be a double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. They got them both out on that. And that is going to bring up, we go to the bottom of the 8th. That's going to bring up Kelly, Grady, and Cabrera. And that is going to do it for Xavier. They're going to go to Boone. They're going to bring in Matt. Matt Thornton to come in. Matt Thornton. 5 wins, 3 losses, 1 save, 2.67 ERA, 67.1 inning, 1/3 of an inning pitched, allowed 48 hits, 77 strikeouts, and 17 walks. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be a 3-5. That's going to be a strikeout plus. That's a 16. That's a 34. And that struck him out. All right, great. Real quick, before we go on, let's take a look here at the stats for Xavier. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. 1.29 ERA on that. And that is going to bring up Grady Sizemore. He's going to face the top of the order. Sizemore, 0 for 3. Now, here's the thing. Do they let Sizemore go? He's 0 for 3. No. They're going to bring in a pinch hitter for Sizemore. He's not having a good day today. And that is going to bring in Shin-Sho Chu to come in and pinch hit for Sizemore. Here's the pitch. Cleveland trying to get some runs back. 1-5. That's a blank. That's going to be a 2-5. That's going to be a fly ball out there to Jai for out number 2. Cabrera, he's 0 for 3. Struck out his last 3 times up. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 2-4. That's going to be a blank. That's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop, to Cabrera, for out number 3. So that retires the side, and we need a center fielder. So let's see. That's going to bring in Jason Michaels to take over the center field. Let's see, anyone else going to be switched out? Yeah, they're going to take out the first baseman as well. Ryan is done for the game today, and they're going to bring in Andy Gonzalez. No. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and Cleveland does make some lineup changes. Now playing at first baseman, it's going to be Andy Gonzalez, and Jason Michaels takes over center fielder. Is now playing center field, so he's coming in to the game. Everyone else is good, and that is going to do it for Edwin. And that is going to bring in Bernadette Donnelly. He's already has 1 inning pitched and allowed 1 hit. His ERA is 9.0 so far in this replay. All right, here's the pitch. And then, but will we see some 9th inning magic? Real quick, let's take a look here at the box score. So nothing was scored so far in the 7th or the 8th inning. Cleveland holding a 6-run lead. 5-4. That's going to be a wild pitch, so we're just going to re-roll. And that's going to be a 4-5. That's going to be a blank. That's going to be a 2-1. That's going to be a double. And Paul gets on second with a double. Jeremy Dye, the right fielder, he's 0 for 2. The pitch. And that's going to be a 5-4. That's going to be a wild pitch. That's going to be a 3. No. 5-5. Ground ball past second base. And that's going to be a ground out. And Paul will advance to third on that. So 1 out. Chicago with a runner in scoring position. AJ now up. He's 1 for 4. 4-1 blank. 3-6, and that's going to be a fly ball out there to DeLucci. And that is a sacrifice, a fly out. Let's see. Roll 1d6 if less than the SF rating of batter. The runner scores. That is equal to or less than, and he is going to score. And that makes it now 8-1 in favor of Chicago. So sacrifice to get the guy home. Alex Ramirez, the center fielder, he's 2 for 3 with a double, a walk, and a run scored. Here's the pitch. 4-5. That's going to be a blank. And that's going to be a 5-2. Fly ball out there to the right fielder, Gutierrez, for out number 3. That retires the side. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 9th. And that is going to do it for Matt Thornton. They are going to bring in Bobby. They're going to bring in Bobby Jenkins. Jenks. Bobby Jenks. 3 wins, 1 loss, 30 saves, 2.63 ERA, 61.2 thirds of an inning pitch, allowed 51 hits, 38 strikeouts, and 13 walks. Johnny is now up. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 5-6. That's going to be a strikeout. That's a 12. The 20 is too high. And that's going to be a 4-3 ground ball to third base. Out number 1. Travis Hefner. Here's the pitch. He's 0 for 3, the designated hitter. That's going to be a 5-4. That's an auto out to die. And Andy Gonzalez now steps up. The first baseman. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 5-3. That's going to be a range play. Cleveland down to the last out. 6-3. Ground ball to Creed. Creed's rating is a 1-4. That's a 1, and that's the game. And the Chicago White Sox defeat the Cleveland Indians 8-1. Final line score coming right up. All right, Chicago gets the win today. 8 runs on 12 hits, no errors committed. Cleveland only held to 1 run on 4 hits. Xavier Valquez draws the win. Fausto gets the loss. Yeah, let's take a look. Xavier, 7 innings pitched. Allowed 4 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts, 1.29 ERA. Fausto draws the loss on that one. Pitched 4 2/3 innings. Allowed 7 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, 1 home run. Has an ERA of 9.58 on that one. And Brandon Donnelly, who was the last pitcher up, 1 inning pitched, allowed 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run, an ERA of 9.0. So that's going to do it here for us at Cleveland. Until next time, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up on your way through the turnstile here. And until next time, I'm Scooty 007. We'll see you next time for another exciting game and the 2008 replay with Inside Pitch. Until then, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.